Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So I'm finally back from my holiday, so we can return to our regular upload schedule. So now what you're looking at is I'm going to be testing out a poison team. So it's going to revolve around Ife and Kara. And the reason why I'm doing this is because some of you guys have actually mentioned in some of the tier list videos that I've done in the past with respect to Kara and Ife, and you have said that they are really good for Chronos. And I have not actually done this before, so let's test out whether this team actually works. So I just put together something that might work. So I have two poison espers over here who are going to be Ife and Kara, and I'm also going to be running a little bit more DPS so that the runs don't take too long, because if you're strictly going to be running poison espers, it is going to take a long time because you have to wait for the enemies to slowly kill themselves. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be running a HP lead in the form of Hengria. So let's take a look at her stats. Here are her stats. She's rather tanky on Astro Witchcraft, and here are the stats of Ife. I'm just giving her as much accuracy as I can and as much speed as I can, and the rest will go into tanky stats like HP and defense. And then Kara is kind of like the same, strong HP, strong accuracy, and the rest goes into defensive stats. And then here we have the Black Twin, and finally Xiao In. And the reason why I'm using Xiao In is because his third skill scales according to a number of debuffs that the enemies have. So I think he kind of fits the archetype here pretty nicely. So some of you guys might also be curious to understand why are people running poison teams instead of running pure DPS teams. Now a simple explanation to that is that it is a lot easier to run a poison team to clear content rather than to run a DPS team, because a DPS team requires a lot of attack, requires a lot of speed, a lot of crit rate, and a lot of turn order management. But for poison teams, you can be a little bit tankier and you will still perform as well as you normally would. So it's going to be a lot easier for new players to manage it. But anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the team in action. So what you're going to see is that we're going to drop a whole ton of debuffs. So we have a lot of debuffs just using the third skill of both Kara and Ife here. So we have attack debuff, and we have a lot of poisons, and we have slow as well. So that's pretty good. And Ife also has a slow on her second skill, which is really nice. So we are almost done with the first wave, which is pretty decently fast. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as your DPS teams, but the relic requirement is going to be so much easier. Or rather, so much less. And the thing is, if you do not have the Black Twin, or if you have not built up a strong Xiao In, for example, you can definitely go for more supportive espers. You can definitely go for like a Baroness, you can go for another healer as well. Anything to make your run a little bit more consistent, and you should still be doing fine. So the thing about running a poison team is you don't really need to worry too much about the boss taking multiple turns, because the more turns that the boss takes, his damage will increase over time. But the thing is, you want the boss to take turns so that he will poison himself, and that is also how you can clear the run with decent timing. Alright, so that's it for the first two waves, which is not bad in my opinion, decently fast. And here we go, we are just going to try our best to land up to 12 poisons if possible, but the thing is, we might not be able to land 12 poisons, but at least we land some slows and attack breaks. So the attack break is going to come from Ife. Yeah, there we go. So the attack debuff is going to help us maintain our sustainability a little bit. It's going to help us with our defensiveness, with our tankiness, making sure that our allies stay alive. And of course, Hengria is just here for the healing. And if you do not have a Hengria, it's fine. You can just use any other healer as well. You can use Hengria. Sorry. You can use Hengria. You can use Clara, you can use Changpu, you can use Helena as well. Helena is pretty good for Chronos because she AP manipulates and her healing power is pretty good. And she gives a crit rate buff, which is very nice for new players. And that's about it. Done. So we took 1 minute and 50 seconds, which is okay. I think this is fine. For a team whose objective is not to nuke down the enemies ASAP, I think this is okay. So we're going to try something else a little bit more different, which is I'm going to be running cooldown reset on this team. So I'll be using Suhua here for the attack buff, and I'm going to be using Anki Chai to cooldown reset. Obviously, if you have other espers that can do the same function, let's say you have an Ahmed is going to perform as well here. But I just want to see how powerful this team can be, and I guess we can also just end off the video over here because this might take a little bit longer than I would like to. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up, it really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.